What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Visage as we continue through the 1980s self-titled album. Thank you again to Mark. And the next track in the playlist is Moon Over Moscow, which certainly gives us a visual and maybe socio-cultural atmosphere, and I do wonder whether this is a scene painting or if the Moon Over Moscow is simply the backdrop for some sort of narrative. So I will try to follow along and see what I can catch. This is Visage, the tune is Moon Over Moscow, and it's from their 1980s self-titled album. Madness. That's an instant favorite. I love that. Like, that, as much as anything, that electrically charged and cycling synth bass line was fantastic. And yeah, so mostly an instrumental. We do have these backing, like, Russian chorus style vocals, as well as the sample, like very robotic Moon Over Moscow. But generally speaking, I would call that an instrumental. And yeah, I think it's essentially like an early 80s synth pop dance track, but deliberately done with some like traditional Russian music stylings. And very much like a minute into the track, I very much saw, you know, like an early 80s discotech and people doing maybe like sort of, what's the right word? Not cheeky, but like traditional Russian dancing, you know, like the leg dancing and the, you know, sort of classic Russian style dancing, but sort of mixed with like, you know, discotheque style dancing. So that's the vibe I got. I do enjoy, excuse me, those, you know, kind of big electric organ chords, and definitely there's some, you know, really dynamic electronic sonics. And I don't know, like in 80, like are sequencers a thing? I know it was like right around then, maybe like 81 or something. So maybe this is like pre-sequencer, which would make it even more impressive that it's, you know, really in a good rhythm and very sound, like structurally, although at the end it almost felt like they deliberately went outside of that and it was like the track was sort of breaking apart. But yeah, lots of cool electronic sonics. I do enjoy that, again, like Russian flavored lead melody, and yeah, especially in those sort of driving sections with the 4/4 beat, I enjoyed. There was that kind of like breakdown syncopated section in the middle, but I really love those driving dance floor like discotheque parts of the track. So very cool tune. Very happy to get back to Visage. It had slipped off a little longer than I intended, but yeah, a few more tunes on the album to go. Once again, thank you to Mark. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.